Okay, so we're going to start the process of learning how to use Bookings, which is an app from Microsoft that allows us to create a page where anybody can book a time with us. And we can provide a link to a Zoom meeting or a phone number, and we can have those folks book times for us, and then we can set that up and have it synced to our calendar so we know when our bookings are. Really useful for managing something like office hours. So we're going to start in Office 365, typically go through Hello ID, and then you're going to want to hit All Apps. So now that I hit that All Apps button, I can now find the app Bookings. So we're going to click it and open it up. So the thing that's a little tricky here is that I already have my Bookings account already all set up. But when you first set up your account and go into the site for the first time, you'll probably get a screen that looks like this: tell us about your business. And what I did, for the business name, I just did Mr. Cowan's class. And then for the business type, I did, if you type the word middle, you'll find junior and middle schools. And then you can hit continue and you'll start your page from there. So the first thing that I did when I started setting this up, and I'm not saying that's the best possible way to do it just because I'm new to this program, but what I did initially was go into business information. And then I first made sure the name was correct. I didn't really worry about the rest of this. The email was automatically filled for me. For a logo, I just use a picture of myself. You can kind of be up to your discretion on that. And then the biggest thing is business hours. And I set my business hours for what are going to be my office hours during this time where we're working remotely. And just customize those office hours for every single day of the week. After that, I went over and I edited services. So under services, you probably are going to see something that says something like initial consult. That's just a default field that's been filled in there. You're going to want to delete that eventually. What I did was I went to add a service. And so I created this office hours meeting service by using the add a service button. So let's take a look and see what happens when we do that. So we go to add a service, give it a name, and I just gave it like the name office hours meeting. I gave a description. Just FYI, the description is not super obvious to anyone who's looking at your bookings page when they're going to make a booking. So don't add too much detail here that you really are counting on, just because it's not, a user has to click on an extra button in order to find the description. You can add an online meeting, but I didn't in this case because I'm not using the Bookings online meeting platform. I'm going to use Zoom. The default duration is going to be the duration of a meeting. So you can set that however you see fit. For me, I just set them as 5 minutes. I might go back and adjust this as I start to use this. One thing I did think was helpful, you can select buffer time your customers can't book. So that means like between each meeting, you'd have a little bit of buffer time that also would allow meetings to run over a little bit. So if I left it on, and I actually just set it to 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after. And again, this is something that might change as I continue to use this product and figure out best practices. But these are just my initial guesses, and I'll kind of adjust on the fly. I didn't worry about this, let customers manage their appointment when it was booked by you. Maximum attendees, again, I didn't have a great idea of what to pick here. I just put 5. I'm envisioning that I might have like a small group show up and want to talk about something. The default price, it's free. And then notes internal only, you can just skip this. This would be for like your records. And as we scroll down, you can set some reminders and confirmation. So when somebody sets a booking, they're going to get automatically generated emails. So if they set a booking and it's 1 day prior to, they'll get an email saying kind of what's written here. You can also add more email reminders. Like I added one that was going to be for 1 hour and then gave a custom message. This is really the important part. Additional information from email confirmation. This is really this is like the message that's automatically going to be sent to whoever makes a booking every time they make a booking. And so what I did, I included a link to a Zoom link to what is my virtual classroom, as well as just a, hey, thanks for booking. I did click enable text message notifications for customer. That's something they can opt into if they want. And then we'll make sure it's shown on the booking page. And then we're going to use the default scheduling policy, just leave those things alone. The one thing to notice here, and I didn't have control over this, but the minimum lead time, so that would be the time in advance someone needs to have to book a booking with you, is 24 hours, which is not ideal to me. But I'm assuming that's controlled by our institution at a higher level through our IT department. And I, at this point, don't have a fix for that. And we scroll down, I think we're generally good. And then we'll hit save. And when you hit save, you'll have your booking set up. So now I went into booking page, and I can pick a color scheme. Booking page access control, do you have to require an Office 365 account from my organization to book? This is fine if only students are, but parents would not be able to access your page if that were true, so I left this unchecked. I really, in general, just kind of left this stuff alone. Oh, and actually, this is new to me. Here's where we can change the lead time. So I'm going to actually change it down to 1 hour to change that lead time. And again, this is me learning how to use this program as I go. So minimum lead time, I'm going to say 1 hour is when someone would be cut off from creating a new booking. But I don't know, maybe we can make it 0. Why not make it 0? I'll be in my office no matter what. So I'm going to just leave the rest of this stuff. I can also have a meeting invite sent to the customer. I'm not sure what that looks like yet, so I'm just going to kind of leave it alone. Maybe we'll turn that on later. And then after that, when I hit open publish page, this is what my bookings page looks like. So now anybody who has this link right here can access this page and make bookings with me, and those bookings will sync to my Outlook calendar. And I'll be able to keep track of my office hours meetings in a really efficient way and be able to organize those in a really efficient way. What I would maybe do with something like this is copy this link and create a permanent link on my Canvas homepage, maybe on that template that we've been using, at least at Centennial. We have a template for our Canvas homepages, and we'll create a link to that. I likely will. And maybe institutionally, we'll find a way to disseminate these pages to parents and students in a different way. But for right now, I'm going to put it on my Canvas page. So that's kind of the basic setup. And I'll show you real quick what it looks like when someone makes a booking based on what I've done. So right here, I just used my personal email real quick, and I sent myself a booking. And so my booking right here, this is what it looks like. And as I scroll down the page, this is what like a parent or a student would see when they make a booking. And the information that I included in the automatic email just says, hey, thanks for booking an appointment with me. Please join me in Zoom using this link. And so it just gives a link to Zoom. And I think in general, that will be effective, but I may need to pivot and make changes as I learn more about using the platform as we get started with the school year. All right, hopefully this is helpful.